All right, I am David Vandy, and this is the African Beat. And guess what? Today I have a very special guest in the studio, and that is Aida V. Welcome to the African Beat, Aida.
Thank you, Mr. David.
That's right, that's right. Aida V, Aida Victoria.
Yes.
You know, born in Uganda.
Born and bred, conceived here. My parents had to
and
tell
now
me.
you're living in America.
I'm back.
That's quite a journey.
Yes, it is. If you've flown it, you know it.
And you're living in Boston,
This is
Massachusetts.
True. This is true.
That is awesome. So now, tell us a little bit about who is Aida V.
Well, tell me, what exactly do you want to know? Because we could spend the whole day here.
Then just give us a summary.
Okay, I'll try. Never ask an African to summarize. My name is Aida Victoria Nachtio Sevachije. They're all mine. It's very long, but they're all mine. I'm a singer, songwriter, dancer, happy person, for sure, and I go by Aida V. Based in Boston, like you said, born and bred in Uganda, conceived in America. Unfortunately, I know that aspect of
I love that part. I love that part. Conceived
Yes, I had to come
in
back.
America.
Yes.
Okay, okay. And the music. Let's. When did it actually dawn on you that, hey, I've got this voice, I've got this quality, and this is something that can take me to the height that I want to go?
So I've always been a creative person. Always. I started dancing before I could walk. These pictures, yes. You know, I started dancing Maganda. I'll look for that picture one day and send it to you. So yes, I started out doing music, dance, and drama back in primary school in Uganda, Gayaza. And I represented Africa in India in dance in 2009.
And Indians can dance.
Yes,
so for
they
you
can.
to go and represent Africa in India,
Yes.
you are quite a dancer.
We try. Anytime, put on the African beats.
The African beats. and you know, in the African beat, there is always supposed to be some power in that beat. If there is no power, then there is no beat. And when that drum beats, you're ready to dance.
Ish, you start.
That's what I'm talking about.
So then my mother has always been into art and craft, so I started my first fashion line, my first production company when I was 15 years old. And at that time, I was also recording, music. So my folks were like, okay, let's focus on the music. Let's focus on the fashion, because the music was too demanding, especially when a younger girl. So thereafter, I did fashion. That's where that comes in. I had my clothing line called VUCA Production Company, and I put music
15.
in 15.
And let me just interrupt you right there. As an African that was born to African parents, and at 15, you were recording music, and you went to fashion, designing. And then I'm thinking about how the king was going to come for you to say, you have to go to school.
Oh. Now, that's a good thing, right? They saw it from the beginning. So even in school, my extracurricular activities, music, dance, and drama, I was there. Even teachers knew it. So it did not come as a surprise, Fast forward, I moved to the States, and I'm like, okay, doing what if you're an African, you know what to do when you come to the States. As a Ugandan, we say, okubeche, you beat the broom. So I did that, but I was like, I put music in the backseat, let me do it again. As an entrepreneur, when I said I'm going to do it again, I was very strategic with it. I was like, okay, let me do the work let me release the work I worked on at first. So that's my first EP, established 2015. You can really hear this young child influenced by Beyonce and Rihanna and all the pop, there's no African. Actually, there's a little bit of Swahili in there and Luganda. But I released that, and then as you grow up, especially as an African in the diaspora, you gain an attachment
Okay.
to back home. There's something about it. I
Yeah,
don't know
something
if
about, that's right.
right?
That's right. You have some people who will want to dissociate themselves, but when you are mentally focused, definitely you will be looking at back home.
Exactly. So that seeped into my music, right? So if you listen to my first single ever released, Wololo Mwaye, you just say this African is here to give us Africa.
Give us African beat. That's,
You know?
you know what? Can you give me a taste of that quickly?
Oh,
Just give me a taste of it.
okay. Do you know it? You should sing with me.
Sing Swahili.
Okay.
I just started learning Swahili and now you want to embarrass me on television? No
Okay,
way.
I got you.
Okay, help me.
I got you.
I'll follow.
Walalala mwai.
Wololo Mwaye.
Walalala mwai.
Wololo Mwaye.
Tande kanga wongo china machina.
I'll leave that one for another day.
Walalala boy. Walalala boy. Please
That's
don't
right.
you leave me when you're going dancing. Walalala sebo. Walalala sebo.
Girl.
Tande kanga wongo genda modisco.
Right now, I'm going to hit that one. African Beat listeners and fans around the world, get ready because Aida V is coming on the African Beat because this is hot.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Thank
Okay, now let's look. When you are in the United States and you say you have that attachment back home, you know, how are the fans here, maybe our own people here, or even the Americans, looking at your music? Because these days, when you look at the trend, I see you're fusing your music from the East with Afrobeat. And now that Afrobeat has taken over the world,
Yeah.
I would say that, and I would proudly say that, because
it has.
I know that we used to look for radio stations in the United States that play African music. And maybe you wouldn't get one until after midnight, like about 2 a.m. in the morning. That's when you will hear African music on the radio. But now, even in the cars, everywhere, on the radio, Afrobeat is playing.
This
So
is true.
how are you fusing all of that, including the audience? How are they accepting your own kind of music?
So music or any craft is an extension of self, right? I am Ugandan. I'm also American. That's my culture. I've derived from both sides of it. And therefore, if anybody knows me, right, and they fall in love with me as a person, I'd like to believe that I'd like to fall in love with my music too, because it's an extension of me, right?
An extension of you.
Yes, it is. So getting people to accept it hasn't been as difficult as it would be selling, I don't know, sun to an Eskimo, because it's an extension. It's an extension of me. It's very natural. It's very forthcoming. Actually, if you listen to my latest release, Yaye, which is taking the world by
And
storm.
yeah, what does yeah mean?
Yaye, okay. So we have a folk song back home where it's Atamukute Yagamba Yaye, Kwatila Danonyeze Yaye, which means if you're not holding that person you love, if you're not holding on, say Yaye. Then hold on tight and say Yaye, right?
If you're not holding on, say yeah.
It's before tug of war. It's a song we sing before tug of war, right?
Okay.
So I worked it in a way where it's like, if you're holding on to the person you love, say yaye. If you're not holding on to the person you love, say yaye. That particular song has been a great test to both the diaspora market and both the people back home, both to white Americans and black Americans, because for some reason, they are accepting the fact that we are an integrated world. I think that may have been the issue before. Like, people did not see that, hey, the world is full of black and white and other races. But now the social norm is changing, and therefore the music is being accepted, making it easier for someone like me that's coming up in the market, to share more of myself. I don't have to cascade myself or hide myself. I'm like, I'm African. I'm also very much an Oreo sometimes. So Yes, collectively, the social norm being accepted that, hey, we are universal world, we are one love, has helped so much.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That has helped, and we're looking at the world right now. That, like we say, it's a global village where everybody
Yes.
can live peacefully. We cannot live and talk and dance to. We used to dance to everybody's song. So what is wrong with ours? And now ours is taking over. And during the pandemic, something happened.
Yeah.
It's like the world came to a standstill,
It did.
and immediately it's like the music was keeping people going quietly in their homes, in as much as people were scared. But immediately after that, it's like the African music just boom, just like that.
Well, I think that's because, especially if you look at TikTok, right? I'm going to come back to African beat. African music has a beat. It just makes you happy. We could be cursing somebody else. Because there's a beat, it just makes you move your body. Like with
that's right.
COVID, there was a lot of depression. Like people needed an uplift. No other music could have done that
Could
but
have done
African
that.
music, right?
Because, every sound of the drum that you hear is an African beat.
That's true.
That's right. And when that drum beats, you have no choice but to move your body.
You have to move. Whether
Tap your feet, flick your fingers, just like
Whatever
that.
it is.
Move your head.
Whether
right?
it's incoherent or not, you just move, So I feel like during COVID, that's where the transition happened, because there's nothing better than dancing with a stranger.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And I'm looking forward to a special dance.
Oh.
But let me ask you this: you are young, and you have gained so much popularity. So much finesse out there. People see you. People love you. But there are young people out there who are looking for this kind of opportunity. Maybe some of them are putting themselves in a situation that they should not be because they want to become stars and superstars overnight. But when you look at them and you see that they are moving in the wrong direction, somebody like you, what would you say to them? What kind of advice would you give?
Listen to your intuition. As human beings, we have intuition. It's very difficult to follow social norms, especially when you feel like I can take over the world as a young person, right? But you will always have that voice in the back of your head telling you this is right or this is wrong. Whether you are doing something you love or something you do not love, right? If your parents say, go to school, and you're like, I really don't want to go to school, in the back of your head, there'll be that voice that tells you, girl, you need to be going to school. And it could also work vice versa. If your parents are like, go to school, but you're like, in the back of my mind, I know this is not my purpose, right? Young children all around the world are blessed, or unfortunately not, with what their predecessors have done. I would say to them, look at what the people before you have done. Sit down with yourself. Because before you can do something like this, before you can give more of yourself, you need to know yourself. So I'd say, young child, 15 years old, 9 years old, they have this intuition. I have younger siblings, right? Sit down with yourself. Try and learn yourself without looking at, okay, that person is doing this, I need to be doing that. That person is doing that, I need to be doing that. No. Sit down with yourself. No, look at the things you've learned in life, both in school and outside school. Then if those things align with something you're passionate about, you're on the right track. If your intuition says otherwise, listen to it.
Listen to it.
Listen to it.
Listen to it. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. And that was, I really, really would love to just close on that chapter, because that is a special message. But what is next for Aida V?
What is next? Okay, musically, I know this is certain, I hope, is I'll be releasing my EP, which is titled, Where Is Your Accent From? Because I've been asked this question.
Aida V.
If I had a
Where
penny.
is your what?
That question, oh my gosh. I have been asked by both
Okay.
So I
Where's your
decided
accent from?
I'm going to release an EP.
I have been asked that too.
title.
But all the same, let's leave it at that. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having you here at the Voice of America. And I look forward to celebrating the new EP with you. Anytime you're down here in the Washington area, please don't hesitate. Reach out, because African Beat is your place, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. And I'm David Vandy, and I hope that you will follow us Monday through Friday at 09:05 and 20:05 Universal Time, right on the Voice of America.